Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the 8th Street Connection weekly show. This week, we're on week 14. It is the post-season preview show. Can't believe we're already here. Only 3 weeks left before we determine the winner. And more importantly, who will take last place in this amazing league and see who has to do the punishment. And hopefully the loser will do the punishment. I actually was talking with my roommates this week before we get into things, and I think that we have a good batch of 6 people in the losers bracket who will all end up doing the punishment should they lose. So that's kind of a good it's a good thing for us in going forward and making sure those punishments are done. So with me, of course, Devin Shell. How are you doing, sir?
I am primed and ready to roll during this video. Please continue. Please give it to me. Baby, give it to me.
We are a little bit more excited this week than last week when Devin was cooped up in his car, cold as hell in Grand Forks, freezing his ass off in a freaking Savers Hershey's bar parking lot. He's ready to roll. He's on into the playoffs. He's got all smiles. Mike McCarthy's gone. What else could you want from Devin Shell?
A victory, baby. That's what we could ask for. We got big things planned.
We do have big things planned today. As I teased in the Slack message earlier today, we have a surprise for everyone here. I think only Shell and I know about it. So hope you guys stay tuned. We keep you entertained throughout today's show. It's going to be a little different than normal since we are in the postseason now. But first of all, we will start with a quick review of Week 13, as always. So we will bring that up. And the first game we can review is the worst game of all season, where I got the win over the Meat Beaters.
Bravo.
8.4 to 66.1. This game might actually have the most things to talk about, even though it was the worst game. I started 3 players who got a 0. I think 2 of them probably touched the field 1 or 2 times. I think Matt Lacoste played a lot more than that, but Equanimous St. Brown saw like 7 snaps. Matt Breida played 10 snaps before he got hurt. It was just a mess of a week. I don't know how I was able to pull it off over Zeebs' terrible team, but he, I guess, also had AJ Green get hurt. So it was just a dumpster fire of a week, really, for both these 2 squads.
Yeah.
I
want to see some of the theaters. I don't know if you're watching, jagging off, but I think you turned me Thanksgiving weekend when Mari Cooper blew up. Oh, it's 33 good. I'm also sick.
I mean, to be fair, he's averaged 20 points a game since the trade. I don't think probably more than that.
There was another piece to that trade. You got Dion, the 4-point savage Lewis. You got Amari going back to his ways. Guess what? You deserve this, jagging off. You lost to a team that had 3 zeros. You can't recover from that type of shit, and I truly feel sorry for your dumbass. Come fire, Brad. You lost to a team that had 3 zeros.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to pull up the chats here. So,
God.
Let's see here. So we got people on the Slack and we got people on the YouTube live chat. So I will say, hop on the YouTube live chat. I got it pulled up here. So, if you want to message there, I guess Slack works too, but. Not to take away from you, of course, Dion Lewis is the epitome of a teaser. He's been projected for a ton of points each week, and he just continues to get 4. So you are right there. But, yeah, so, Zeebs and I are both in the losers bracket. Zeebs on the Slack here, he claimed that 33 points was still good on Thanksgiving, which it was. So kudos to you on that one. Whatever he says. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. This was for the battle of the top seed in the regular season. It was handily won by the Fighting CJs by almost 80 points. It was 81 points, actually. 180 points put up by the Fighting CJs. I don't remember if that topped Tom's. I think Tom had 175, which was obviously a massive number. But I think this was the second most in league history. So kudos to you, Isaac. Just a massive, massive week. 3 people going over 30. Everybody but Austin Eckler in double digits. So, I mean, it's been like this all season. I don't know what – you can't even say anything more.
You're at 18. That's unreal.
Yeah, it is. It is unreal. 18 points from your kicker and then 16 from your D is unheard of. But that's what you kind of need to get over that like 160 hump. That's pretty impressive. So
yeah, kudos to you, Isaac.
Kudos to you. And then, of course, the Slack was pretty buzzing on Friday night when Kareem Hunt got commissioner exempted and then ultimately released by the Chiefs to the detriment of Trevor's team. And, of course, this is a massive blow as Trevor's already kind of looking thin at running back. But guess so it goes, story of his season. But he still has a bye and is locked into the semifinals. So I don't feel too bad for you, Traps. Could definitely be worse. So on to the next one. We have weight room optional playing Zeke and Destroy. Zeeb says, show us your wrench. So if you want to show that off, show that to you over
I respect that.
Public media on YouTube for anyone to see.
Yeah, I can't wait to get fired by my company if they see my donger on YouTube.
You should show them your Hershey's bar for everyone. All right. We had Dylan taking down Matt Ellingson pretty handily, actually. If you just saw this game, you would think Dylan would be in the playoffs and Zeke and Destroy would be in the consolation bracket, but not quite so much. Dylan had 120 points to Zeke and Destroy's 84 points. Zeke and Destroy, Ellie's team's kind of limping in the playoffs ever since a couple of those trades. He had a couple injuries go down, and Aaron Rodgers hasn't been quite himself. So,
watch your tongue.
Teams do play better after the coaching fire, so it's been proven. So maybe he has that on his side.
Yeah.
But going to the next one, we had Tommy Potter in probably the most important game of this last week, determining playoff implications. Tommy wins. He is in and makes spots for Austin, most importantly, who deserved to be in the playoffs. He has a good team. And that's exactly what Tommy does. He ekes out 100 points and beats Chuck Stream by 14. Chuck Stream only had 86, but I think he has a pretty solid team overall. Just no touchdowns from him besides Martin. So that's tough. But 86 with 1 touchdown is pretty solid. Tommy Potter's obviously got a good squad. Made the playoffs at 7-6.
Boom.
So second to last one here, Rudy's chance. He needed a win in a Tommy loss.
Oh, God.
Couldn't quite get it. So he is in the consolation bracket as well as team victory lap. Casey's team finishes at 6-7. Lot of talent for a 6-7 team here with Mark Ingram, Philip Lindsay, who just destroys every week, it seems like. Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, Manny Sanders, Mitchell Trubisky, Deshaun Watson. Like, his team is stacked. Just not enough coaching prowess from Casey to put him over the hump. So he will also join Rudy's chance in the consolation bracket. All right. Let's see. I'm just checking up on YouTube, talking about Gus Bus, but that's a little bit behind me. So I only have 2 screens here. I should have 3 so I can see the YouTube.
I know. My phone is on fire right now.
Right. I know. I like it. All right. We're getting there, boys. We're just last game to review here. So we have the playoff Dragons who clinched the 6th spot in the playoffs with their win and 99 points. Devin, your team, who put up a very respectable 95 points in the absence of your heart and savior in Christ Almighty, Melvin Gordon.
Thank you.
So very admirable effort by you with Goff only getting 8 points. You got your league mate, Austin Nelson, into the playoffs as well with that. So overall, both teams looking solid here and are fighting still for that ever elusive championship ring for both of you players. So with that, that's week 13, and that is the regular season it is a wrap. So from there, we will take a quick look at the final standings of the league here. Let me see if I can share screen share here. You got it, Shell? You see it here?
I can see it, baby.
All right, we're rocking and rolling. So, kind of mentioned before, but quick review. Tommy Potter wins the Shredders. I feel like this is an every year occurrence for him. We have Mia Khalifa's lucky day taking the Whalers division on total points as he was tied with Playoff Dragons in record and head-to-head. Clippers was won by Trevor, and Bangers was won by the CJs, and those have been...
Hey, who won Whalers? I need to hear it one more time.
Whalers was won by Mia Khalifa's lucky day.
Who finished second? That too.
The Playoff Dragons was second. Okay. But what have you done for me lately? I would say Austin is going into the playoff stronger than Devin Shell.
Hey, if this was the college football playoff, I would get in because of body of work.
That's true. A September game is the same as the December game.
You're damn right. Glass half full.
All right, so just a couple things we need to point out here. I don't think we've ever seen a discrepancy so large between the top score in Isaac at 1690 and the second highest score in Traps in 1587. 100 points is a huge, huge difference between first and second. In 13 weeks, that's like 8-9 points a week. That's pretty impressive. So Isaac, kudos to you on a great regular season.
Brave.
You can see here I finished last place. Had some real bad weeks at the end and the beginning, and some decent weeks in the middle, but that's decent was probably being generous. So very much at the bottom was my terrible squad. So kudos to all of you for getting better and having me just drowning and sinking to the bottom. All right. Any other things you need to point out here in the final standings before we take a look going forward to the postseason, Jill?
I just need to look at the Whalers for a little bit.
All right. You've had your chance there.
Yep. Hey, 7-6 again, baby.
7-6.
Lifetime 500.
That is right. You are Mr. 500. You are the Jeff Fisher of this fantasy league. Okay, so if you want to do a matrix here.
Whoa.
Bulge, why aren't you talking about my points against? Okay, so we can go back to that.
Yeah, let's please do it.
The people are Zeeb's changed his team name too. We'll talk about that quickly. So points against. Zeebarth was against a massive 1540, which is about 52 more points than anybody had to go against. So that is of course huge, 4 or 5 more points than the second person saw per week. So yeah, Zeeb's had a respectable team at the start of the year. Went up against just a mammoth of a schedule, just a bear of a schedule.
Yep.
And so Zeeb's team is the Never Nudes. We'll have to go quick see if he changed his logo or not. Yes, he did. I don't know what the hell that is, but I like it. So Never Nudes is a team that plays trivia. What's up?
Ask him about points for.
Okay. Tom chopped in, but Never Nudes is a team that we first in trivia every Wednesday, and they just shred us. They are an amazing team. They are a wagon of a team, unlike Zeeb's fantasy team. So I do not quite get the correlation there, but it's a great name nonetheless.
I like it.
So, all right, with that, we will go on to the playoff bracket, which is right here.
I'm ready to give dual hand jobs.
Okay, so the first overall seed is the Fighting CJs. Kudos to you, Isaac. We've talked a lot about your team, so I'm going to move on to the second seed, Party Like an ACL Tear. Both of those teams have buys and are on to the semifinals. Mentioned in the YouTube chat is, of course, there was a huge trade last season involving a second-round pick exchanging hands. So both teams that gained a second and lost a second, both teams ended up getting buys and just crushing this league from start to finish in the regular season. So that is a pretty impressive storyline. You can't really make that up. So
can't make it up.
Yeah. So kudos to both of you guys. Next up, we have the first matchup of the playoffs. We have Zeke and Destroy versus the 4 seed Tommy Potter. Zeke and Destroy got in on best record, and Tommy Potter won his division. So here we go. We have a projected game that is within 1 point as of right now. I'll flip it to you.
I like that.
To give us your prediction.
So I was talking with a fellow league member that I usually do a weekly conference call with. I don't like to name names, but he is a president. We talked, did Matt Ellingson, I'm going to write maybe an autobiography or whatever the hell, I'm going to write a documentary about did his team get better at the trade deadline? Many people say yes, some people say no. I'm someone that questions some of the moves that he made, but at the end of the day, he gave me James White. I gave him T.Y. We're good friends. I like Ellie. He's my golf partner. Although I do not like his odds in this playoff matchup. Tommy Potter. Oh, God. Yeah, screenshot that. Zeke is just a different animal. Especially, and I feel like if Melvin doesn't play, rest in peace to his soul, Justin Jackson is so much better than Austin Eckler. He will play more. I don't know, man. He's got his boy Josh Gordon. He's got Gronk. Tom Brady is getting into December Tom Brady. If you want my prediction, I think Tommy Potter wins by 10+ points.
Yeah. 10. It'll be interesting to see here. The big thing I think here is the storyline of what will happen at the running back positions. I think Ezekiel Elliott's the best out of the 4 running backs.
Yep.
But if you remember correctly, Matt Ellingson traded Ezekiel Elliott and Shady McCoy for David Johnson and Joe Mixon.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how that pays off for both of these teams in the playoffs.
I feel like another thing
I think both teams benefited from it. Ellie needed depth, and Tommy needed to get a stud in there since he has so much depth. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Tommy's gonna keep making the wrong decision at that RB2 spot. That could haunt him.
He informed me last night that he had like 6 or 7 running backs he was debating between, and he picked the dead ass last one. That had the least amount of points. So it's hard to do that. So kudos to you. Congratulations, Tom. So it'll be interesting to see who he plays at that spot. So I'm also going with Tommy Potter. I think it's a close one, but that's why they play the games. We'll see how it goes. So the other game in the playoffs we have this week, Devin, this one is close to you, of course. It's a rematch of last week. It's me, Lucky Day, versus the playoff Dragons, who snuck in with that 6th seed with most total points. That didn't make the playoffs. The starting lineup of Big Ben, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, and Tyreek Hill is incredibly dangerous, incredibly fun, and I don't even care who else he has. I think that unless Melvin Gordon goes, I'm leaning heavily towards Austin winning this one over you.
Do you know how much I love being an underdog?
Every year you love it.
Let me tell you a little story. Let me take a walk. I just want to take a walk with me.
I'm walking with you, buddy.
I fear no man, and I fear no man named Stin. Okay? Was our division champion on a body of work. He's going to be like Urban Meyer this week, having like brain aneurysms on the sideline. As I sit here in my hotel room, I have a little display built right now. It is the display that I will wake up Sunday and I will unleash a different power on you, Stan. I don't know if I have to get on a knee to be able to show you. Maybe we'll turn up a little bit just to get. I don't know. I think I can get in trouble for this. It is a power. And YouTube might kick us off for that. I don't know. Both were you able to see that?
Yeah, we saw it. We heard it.
Coming?
We heard it.
I'm coming in real life. I'm coming in my bathroom. And I'm coming on Stinner's fucking face. when I beat your ass this week. I was the division champ, and I will be going to the second round, Stin. Suck my dick. I'm beating you. That's all I got.
Suck my dick is also what Mia Khalifa's boyfriend say, or friends say to her on Sunday mornings too.
That's fine. Hey, I am. But on a real note, oh shit, whip that up again. I gotta delete my history after that big unveiling. But anyway,
you know, I it's hard to pick against that power that you're gonna unveil on Sunday morning, but
I might honestly. So I'm about once a day right now. I think I will take off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in preparation for the load that's going to go into some tissues on Sunday.
That is going to be massive.
I think I have to be a dirty boy with it, like just nasty. Like, oh, I'm so excited. The ghost of Melvin Gordon goes into my boy. You know who my boy is? Jeff Wilson Jr. JWJ. He's gonna be filthy. No, I actually, I made a bunch of trades. This is the team that I built. Now I gotta live with it. 7-6, baby, and we're gonna try to go to 8-6. New season. Let's get it. I'm taking Stenner down.
Okay. I don't know if I can top anything you just did there, but I'm still going with the Dragons, man. I don't know. I love the power. I love Mia Khalifa, but I gotta go with the Dragons. So I'm excited to see this one play out. So, all right, now we can go on to the consolation bracket, which is almost as intriguing, especially these early weeks, or not these, not as interesting as the playoff bracket. These early weeks, I should say. Final week is probably the most entertaining. But so the first game we have here is Rudy's Chance versus Team Victory Lap. Either team wins here, they are clear from the punishment, so it's a big game for both these guys. Team Victory Lap looks to – I'm pretty sure this was the matchup we had last week too, so that's back-to-back.
Yep, couple back-to-backs.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that even though Rudy's Chance gets what's-his-nuts, Leonard Fournette back, I still don't think it's enough to overcome Casey's wagon of a squad, even if he doesn't set his lineup again. So I'm going Team Victory Lap, stays safe, and rides that mediocrity for the last 2 weeks. Who do you got, Sean?
Okay, so I did a little history into our playoff history.
Yeah.
In the 8-7 matchup, only 2 times has one of the teams from this game ended up in the dumpster bowl game. Both times it's been Dylan Alderman. Once in 15, once in 17. The only time he lost it was 17. So if I was a betting man, I would say both of these teams should be okay.
Yep, I think so too.
Obviously, a win for either of these teams puts them in safety.
Yep.
I feel like the guy that's going to end up being in safety is the guy that right now I think has the 3rd best team in the league.
Yeah, I would agree.
Go Dogs. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Hopefully he can take 10 minutes out of his busy week and set a lineup one last time before he has to worry about fantasy. Yeah, that's true. It is very much set. So I might play Sony, but it's a tough decision. He's got a lot of good pieces. So all right. With that said, we'll go to the next matchup. We have Chuck's Dream against the Never Nudes. The Never Nudes here are somehow projected to win by 6. I think I would probably take Chuck's Dream in this one.
Ooh.
This one's important too because win this one, you are once again in the top of the ladder, consolation ladder, and safe from the punishment. Loser goes to the bottom and is then in danger of taking deadass last. So, I don't know. I'm not as sold on Spencer Ware as other people, and Deion Lewis has yet to do anything of importance, it seems like. So I think I'm leaning Brett Bergeson, Chuck's Dream. Who do you got, Shell?
So I got some things to say about both these gentlemen. Chuck's Dream is a man of scholar. He's an honorary man. Every time I think I texted him probably out of the 13 regular season weeks, probably 12, and I would just shoot him a, hey, what's DeAndre doing? What's DeAndre doing? And always he sent me a text back. I respect men like that. On the other hand, you have Zeebs, who's Just a crazy son of a bitch. And I love the man thong. I love the riot. I love everything about him. Except for one thing. In his post-draft season preview, he was very rude to me. He was very attacking about how I wouldn't mount up to anything. And that sits in the back of my mind. I use that as fuel. I feed it to my boys. I feed it to my semen that come out on a Sunday. Therefore, I go with integrity. Mr. Chuck's Dream. In honor. Also another Go Dogs matchup. Go Dogs.
All right. So, with that, in the forever grudge against Matt Zebarth, we will go on to the last one. It is my team versus Dylan's team. I caught a little bit of a break, and I won't be facing against James Conner. He's hurt and he's out. Dylan does have Jalen Samuels, but I don't project him to take the Conner workload quite the same way the most Steelers backs have had. So I don't know. My team's sucky. I'm just hoping my team can get somewhat healthy for Week 16. I'm kind of expecting to be in that toilet bowl during Week 16. What's up, Layden? No. My buddy from dental school.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, you're live on YouTube right now.
Live on YouTube.
Holy shit, I'm famous.
You're famous. Actually, this is a good time to we had one guy here, Rise Hacks. Shout out to you.
He's the only non-league buddy.
Yeah, he's a non-buddy.
Yes, a fan.
Yeah, so we had a fan.
Well, you do it.
Hey,
all right,
I want to make a tease though for the end of this episode. I know you're supposed to make teases right away.
Mm-hmm.
I want my own. Just give me my own 20 seconds at the end of this for a friendly little game I like to have. So we'll continue.
Wait, you want 20 seconds now or what? Because this game's previewed. I think Dylan's winning. What do you got, Joe?
Oh yeah, Dylan's winning.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to do something for my friend Stinner because I got people texting me. I got shit happening on YouTube. Stinner, I want you to wager something in this game. This is more than life. It's you and me, baby. Let's put something on it. I think, honestly, Bulge, what do you think a good punishment is for a sucker like Stin?
I would love to see Stin do a stand-up comedy act because he would be so nervous and such a train wreck before, but he would be really good at it. And so that's what I want to see Stin to do.
You know what? Stinner, you're going to end up doing that, you son of a bitch. I'll give him to the YouTube chat. I want to see his rebuttal. I want to just hear from him. We can talk about it, but anyway, continue.
Trevor says loser does a punishment, winner picks.
Ooh, okay. But we got to ask.
It's kind of like a side bet of what we have going on. This is actually a good segue to what we have next on the show sheet. We are going to do a quick review of how we are doing the punishment before the big surprise to finish the show out here. So, all right. So the winner of the league not only gets their ring, gets their payment, gets the glory forever, their name etched in stone on the beautiful trophy as the 2018 winner, but they also get to narrow the list of punishments from 12 to 6, in which the loser chooses one of those punishments they have to do, and everybody submitted one punishment. So I'll read the list here, and you guys can all get a good laugh and decide which ones you would want to do and which ones you wouldn't want to do. And I don't know if it would be strategic to say which ones you'd want to do. I guess I'm the only one who has a voice here that has a chance to do all of these. So I will start with my punishment. I decided that the loser should do the 6, 12, 18, 24 challenge at the 2019 draft day. I think that would be a great time for everyone to enjoy and look forward to on draft day. If you want to have an explanation of that, go back to later shows or text me later. I'm kind of tired of explaining it. Dylan wants the loser to get frosted tips from draft day to week 1 or their first win. I think their first win would be pretty funny. Trevor has the loser do an open mic comedy night. So yeah, that's where I got the idea from for Austin. Brett has the loser doing a bikini and leg wax, which would be terrible, physically harmful, of course. And then Patrick wants the loser to wear Zeebs' man thong at draft day, which I'm sure Zeebs would be very welcoming to twin with you that day, of course, and he would love to have a fellow man thong wear at draft day. So that's a pretty funny one, I think. Shell, of course, yours is the most outlandish and will not be picked by anyone. But of course, you have to put it out there because why not?
Why not?
Logo of your team, or your team logo tattooed on your ass. Shell will even pay for all fees or surgeries / infections related to said.
You know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe Stenner and I might have to up our wager to something of that severity.
I guarantee there's no way Austin lands on a tattoo wager, much less any other wager on your game this week. He's already nervous enough for this game.
He's sweating.
He's sweating for sure. I mean, part of me thinks he's just relieved to make the playoffs since he's been rebuilding for so many years, but I also think he's sweating in his boots right now.
Honestly, and I'm starting to feel bad. I feel like I'm bullying. And I'm really sorry, man. Like, I thought I was better than that.
Okay, back to Sorum's punishment, wearing the man thong. Zeebs claims that he bought 2 more man thongs on Black Friday, so if you guys want to do that one, Zeebs is all ready for you guys, so that's pretty funny. All right, so where were we? We're at Tom's is tried the method on Chuck's sister. The method, of course, is Zeebs's way of picking up girls. I can't remember exactly how it goes. Zeebs is great at explaining it. It's basically Facebook messaging them some script that he has planned out. So that's Tom's. Casey is go to a drag bar or a gay bar or whatever you want to call it at on a weekend night and sit by yourself for the night. That one kind of is not quite set in stone on the duration in which you have to sit or whatever, but obviously not what anybody wants to do on their Friday night. Zeebs is to take the ACT, post the score within the league.
Oh, that's
a classic one. I think that one's always should be in there. Ellie wants the loser to run a play from the Hamian playbook on an unknown girl at a bar on draft day, which would be miserable. Of course, Isaacs. This says Trevor's favorite, I believe. He wants the loser to enter a bodybuilding contest where you are judged on stage.
That's so brutal.
Yeah, that one I think is a good one because, I mean, you just stand there. It's not like it's really that humiliating. But
if you got the other 11 guys in the crowd.
I know. I think it'd be much worse. I mean, I'm giving out what I think, but I think it'd be much, much worse to do a comedy night where you actually have to speak and try to be funny instead of just stand there, you know. Right. But everybody's got their thing. I mean, it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. I think they're both hilarious. I just would rather do that one. Austin says, I will do stand-up while wearing Z's man thong if he loses. So there you go. It's written in stone on the chat.
Well, yeah, I guess, it's like, I really do feel bad for Stinner because, like, he's put in so much work and I know he cares about fantasy, like, so much. Like, I do, like, this weekly preview video and, like, I go on with my life. It's just, like...
that is not at all true.
I feel like his phone is honestly hot from how much he checks fantasy. He wants
the guy who runs the Adam Shelter account.
I feel like it's a Make-A-Wish game this week. Like,
I love it. The trash talk has begun. I miss it already. I wish I was part of the fun. But okay, so here we go. Zeeb says he will type out the script if you guys want. So there it is. Okay, last one, which is one of the funnier and more humiliating punishments, I think. Austin wants the loser to bring a sex doll to a restaurant, at a sit-down restaurant, and take them on a date, which then would lead into a movie, and of course, what you do after that with the sex doll is your own business. So, part of me thinks that would be a funny, that would be a funny one to watch go down or to do. I don't know if I'd want to do it, but all right. So that's the punishments. It'll be interesting to see who gets to choose what it's narrowed down to, and then of course to see who has to ultimately do the punishment.
Yep.
So, to those out there watching, we have a surprise for everyone here. It is going to impact not this year's draft, or not this year's season, but next year's draft. So
when we're in Vegas,
while we're in Vegas after Trevor wins, or Shell.
Yep.
Okay, so we have devised Vegas odds for each team that has a chance to winning the championship, and then each team who has a chance at taking DAL, deadass last. So I will unveil these odds right now after I quick explain what we will be betting with. So everybody gets 3 bet slips, or name slips. These are the same name slips that go towards a draft order on draft day. So if you remember correctly, everybody gets 1 draft slip or name slip for showing up. Then you get a name slip for each shot you take. Then you also get name slips for finishing first in any of the contests that we do, whether that be golf or bags. So we are adding another component here. So you get 3 name slips. They are yours to do with what you want. You can keep them and send them back into 2019 draft. And I will be writing all this down and logging it down so you can not bet them, or you can bet these name slips on the lines given right now. You can do whatever you please. You can put all 3 on Isaac to win it, or you can put 1 on Isaac, 1 on Shell to win it, and 1 on me to take deadass last. And whatever pays out is what you get. So if you lose all 3 bets, you go in with 0 name slips come draft day. But if you hit on all 3, which I guess you can't hit on all 3, if you hit on it with frickin' Ellie to win the championship, which he's at 8-1 odds, spoilers, you will get 24 name slips come draft day. So
these odds are from Vegas. These odds are from Vegas.
These are from the Westgate Westgate Sportsbook.
Yep.
From Vegas. So
our boys in the Vegas, Brent Musburger. Yep.
Yep. He just emailed them over, so we might as well get to unveiling them right now. So Isaac Anderson is the odds-on favorite. He is even money. He is a 1-to-1 odd. Bet 1 name slip to get 1 name slip. That is, you bet all 3 name slips. You will get 3 others in return, so you would finish with 6 extra name slips. Traps is second. He is a 3-to-1 favorite. Bet 1 name slip to get 3. Austin and Tom are tied for third. They are both 4-to-1, as they are projected winners of their games this week. 4 bet slips will be awarded to you for each one you bet on them. And this is, of course, to win the championship overall. This is not to win just this week. So keep that in mind. So, Shell, you are 6-to-1 at 5th.
Oh, I love that.
6-to-1. That's good. That might be a good value play, Shell. Are you going to be putting any slips on your own name?
Now, are my odds going to change if Melvin Gordon is a play?
You know, Westgate had a big decision on whether they should release this line early for the show or they should wait to see what Melvin Gordon's status is later in the week. But they decided to release it early. Get in right now at 6-to-1 before the value climbs to 5 or 4-to-1 once Melvin Gordon is ruled in. So, lastly, we have Ellie, who I already spoiled. 8-to-1 odds for Ellie to win the championship. That would be 24 name slips in your bag entering draft day. That could be huge if you have a certain draft spot you want to draft from. So you can bet on champions or you can bet on losers, of course, too. So we'll go over those values quick, or those lines. I am the odds-on favorite I had the least amount of points this year. Westgate Superbook put me at 2-1 odds at taking Deadass last. So even though I may be the best owner in the bottom, I have the worst team by far. So bet on team or owner. What are you guys going to do? We have DA at 3-1. He is in that final rung of the ladder with me. So he is rightfully placed at 3-1. Zeebs is also at 3-1. He lost AJ Green and is kind of been spiraling out of control as of these last couple of weeks. So 3-1 to take Deadass last. Chuck's Dreams at 4-1. He's in that second rung too. So if he loses this week, he's in major danger of taking Deadass last, as are those bottom 4 teams. So then the top 2 teams, Rudy's Chance is at 8-1, and Team Victory Lap at 10-1. So Team Victory Lap obviously has the best team in the consolation bracket, but he may have the worst owner. He may not check the lineup. That is a danger you are running with, or I guess that would be a plus on your side if you're betting that 10-1 line with Team Victory Lap taking last place. So yes, we are. Austin says, "Can I bet on myself to lose?" From Z. If I do multiple Deadass last punishments, do I get more slips? Says Zeebs. Zeebs is all in for tanking. He is tanking. I don't mind the questions here.
Hey, we got some guys asking about parlays. Should we do some sort of parlay?
Yep. Isaac said ask about parlays. I think parlays is something we should be able to do. Yep. I will use the parlay calculator to get those values calculated out. So yeah, you can very much do that. Of course, I mean, I don't want to give away too many strategic tips here, but you can't take 2 people on a parlay to win the championship because neither of those are both going to pay out. So if you are doing a parlay, do 1 winner and 1 loser, and then whatever the calculation is, I suppose you can get up to freaking 100 name slips if you bet on Allie and Casey to take their respective crowns, and they both hit. Yep. So, now Zeebs' question. Zeebs' are a good questions. I think that if you do multiple Deadass last punishments, I think you should get extra slips. I think that's very much should be in play. I don't think it should be many, but the fact that
you're willing,
you're willing to do it for so little value, like the name slip provides so little value, so for so much entertainment value for us, I think that we should for sure say you get more slips.
How many do we want to say? 3, 5?
I'm saying 3. I think 3 is a good number. I think that you can't bet on yourself to lose, though. I think if you're in the bottom, you cannot bet on yourself to lose. But if you can bet on yourself to win, of course, because there'd be no more incentive to win than what is already there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Shel, what do you think? You're going to be my commander in chief here. So my advice.
No, I'm fully for everything that you're saying right now. I agree. If you do some of the more every additional punishment should be an additional 3 slips. Great bits for the league. This is the best league in America, so I'm all for it. Now,
okay, so here I'm just brainstorming. What if anybody else wants to do one of these punishments? Are they allowed to get 3 slips as well?
I am absolutely for it.
Trevor just asked the same question. So good on you, Traps. Great minds right there. I mean, I personally don't think I would do any of these punishments for 3 extra name slips, but
no.
If you guys want to be my guest, I would be more than happy to watch any of you guys do any of these punishments and record them in some way. So I think you can do that. I think that's a good addition. I'm gonna say that's good to go. So all right. So if anybody has any questions about the system we have here, but the name slips at all, please text Shell and I. We'll get that answer for you and send it out to Slack to update everyone. But one last thing before we leave here. So in order to redeem your name slips, And to place your bets, please text Shell and or I. Group message would be totally fine. If you just want to text one of us, that's also fine too. We can get each other caught up.
In case you don't like one of us, yeah, that's cool.
Right. So, and I mean, Shell's got green text messages for the rest of us, so that's kind of a hassle. So, you have to text me whether you are going to bet your slips and what you're betting on, or if you're just going to keep them. So I will not be rewarding 3 bet slips to you if you don't text me you're going to keep them. But if like Ellie, I'm sure he's not going to bet. He's just going to say, I will keep my 3 name slips for next year, Jordan. So I will say,
well, that's because he knows that we'll make enough bet slips during the games next year.
Exactly. I'm sure you guys will be taking first in golf and bags. So you guys will be more than making up.
We have a great tandem. For the public, real quick, can we get the odds put back on a piece of paper in front of everyone?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
So we want to pause it and look at them. It's a little fun. Yeah, right there. That's sexy. Dead sexy.
Okay, here we go.
Me at 6-1 is maybe the greatest hidden gem of all time.
Okay, here we go. Don't talk. Let him get a quick silent second here. You ruined it. Okay, so there we go. Shell thinks that his team is the best value, of course. So do that. Do with it what you want. So with that, I haven't seen the chat here in a couple of seconds. So I think everybody's out of questions. I have said everything that I want to say. Shell, have you said everything you want to say?
I do have one last thing.
Okay.
Our first place finisher, our regular season champ this year. I just want you to know something that the fantasy gods have watched you. They've attacked Trevor for some of the things that he's done, but for the non-belly button piercing, people don't forget. You need to know that. And if you were a man of integrity, which I know you are, you would get that done before your second round game. If you want a chance, even. If you want a chance. Also, Stinner, I might sit some guys. I do really feel bad for picking on you during this episode. I love you, but I'm going to kick your ass. That's all I got.
All right. Good luck, everyone.